Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. Last video we fixed some rusty brake lines. This video I'd like to fix the e-brake. Right now this emergency brake does absolutely nothing. Definitely want to get that working before we go test the brakes on the Jeep. That way we have a backup plan to get stopped. Let's head underneath and check out what's going on. Down underneath the Jeep, this is where the cable for the handbrake comes out. It goes down, and then this thing here is an adjuster. It's rusted to the point I think it might break if you actually pull on it. The main part we need to work is this over here. You tighten that bolt down and it makes all of that tighter, which then tightens up the brake. None of that's going to work, so I'm just going to replace this whole piece. Let me order that and get back to you. It's sometime in the future. We've got a replacement. Crown Automotive, quality replacement parts for Jeep vehicles since 1963. We got our piece. It's pretty simple, just a bolt and some cables attached to it, and let's go do it. Well, first thing we need to do is cut this old one out. I'm gonna go ahead and use an angle grinder. Maybe this fit. Oh, I don't want to do you without that. Oh, and you're loose. Maybe you're just loose enough I can pull you out of there. Yep, good. Sweet, didn't have to use an angle grinder. Well, that is very loose. I feel like we're gonna need to change some things, other parts too. Oh good, that just fell off. Okay, well, maybe we're gonna be replacing more than just this piece. Man. Well, the end fell off of that one. Looks like we might be replacing these too. The bracket's still pretty solid. This looks new. That one, however, is not. Let's go find out how much it is to order some more of these and replace those. I ended up having my mic off for the unboxing. Anyways, we got some e-brake cables. All this stuff will be down in the description if you need it. This cable goes in and we stick it in the back and it goes into some things. I'm gonna have to pull all of this apart in order to make that happen. I needed to do that anyway because this whole thing needs cleaned out. If this is your first time doing this, I'd take some pictures of things and make sure you know where everything's at. They make special tools to pull these off. It does make it a lot easier, but I'm cheap. I will leave a link down in the description to those tools though. All I'm gonna do is grab a pair of pliers. I'm getting the tip of the spring, grabbing the hook for it. Jamming a screwdriver in one way. We'll come around the back, pop the spring out that way. Well, I say we will. There we go. Same thing to the other one. There's a little more room with it, so it should be a bit easier. There's the other one. Pull those out. Let's save those for later. Next, we'll remove the self-adjuster. We got that fell out. Keep track of your parts, don't lose them. Well, maybe we'll wiggle this the right way. There we go. Put all that over there. Next, we have to get the brake shoes off. They're held on by these two springs. There's a little piece in here that sticks straight up and down. You got to push the spring in and twist it. A pair of vice grips are good to do that with. Also going to need to hold the pen on the back side so it doesn't push out. That's simple. Again, let's not lose these pieces. Once you have that out, this pin will just push through. I might get new hardware. Anyways, get my head in the way here maybe. Find that pin. Oh yeah, that one's in even worse shape. Maybe we will get new hardware. Yeah, these pins are, it's still solid metal. Let's clean all this up and see what happens. Now we can just pull these apart. We've got a center spring in the middle that keeps these separated. Then this whole thing will just come off of here. What we're actually after is this right here, which is the e-brake. There we go. Maybe you saw that. I'm going to keep all this stuff down at the bottom attached. This is the adjuster and the bottom spring. This still seems to work when I turned it, so let's get some things cleaned up. Going to hit this with a pile of brake clean, and then we'll hit it with a steel brush. There's a lot of stuff going on in here that needs cleaned out. All right, the parking brake coming in has these little clips. They are so rusted that I can't push them. When they're newer, you can push these in and they will push back through this. But there is so much junk and rust in there, they won't come out. So I'm just gonna use a Dremel on them. See if we can get you any sort of angle here. I'll try to stay out of your way, but yep, good luck with that. Yeah, there's some of them. There's a lot of junk in there. Maybe more reasons why these didn't work. Yeah, sorta, maybe. Oh, almost. Oh, so close. There, I got it. There we go. We are going to want to keep this rubber boot that goes on the back of here. There we go. We'll put that on the new one. It just helps less stuff get in here. Also clean that out a little bit. There we go. Let's have some comparisons now that we have that out. Well, yeah, it's sort of the same. I don't think this is going to work because it fit in there. That's a little big. All right. Well, let's go tear the rest of that out of there. Yeah, down under the Jeep, the bolt thing that holds this whole thing together broke. We'll see if this works without it being mounted to anything. Well, the camera shut off. A little hot out here, I guess. Decided just to cut through that. That didn't seem to fix my problem, honestly. Maybe that. Yeah. Whew. Okay, we got one out. I'm gonna maybe, oh good, we're stuck in the drive shaft. I'm gonna maybe do this other one while we're down here. Oh, way harder to get to though. Okay. Let's not drop a moving Dremel on my face. Let's move my light over a little. All right. Do what we did before. Where's my... No. Why don't I have a lift? Oh, probably gonna clean this off a little too. Make just a little better. Yeah. All right, 2 out. Oh, I got rust in my ears. See how much metal's left on this old boy. Gonna probably need to sort of do this for the whole thing. Yeah, that's still some metal. That'll hold a brake. How do I have safety glasses on and there's still rust in my eye? All right, got our new e-brake cable. Gonna try and slide this back on this one. Not sure it's gonna do much of anything because this isn't really designed for this. We'll see how it goes though. Well, whatever, we'll leave it on there. Maybe I can work it out later. Anyways, we're gonna push this back in where the other one was. Give it a nice firm push. I'm gonna definitely be zip tying this to some things somewhere because that is a lot of play in that. I did go out and buy all the springs. It was only $8. Some of these are rusted, so we're gonna pull all these springs off and replace them. Put our new guy in. Ooh, that is a lot tighter spring. Let's... Ding. Okay. We're doing this off camera. I'm not holding it like that anymore. Maybe that was kind of in view. Yeah, look at me. All right. Got that guy done. No, we got some spiders. We will toss this back on here to make the rest of this a little easier. We've got our e-brake that goes around the back here and clips back in. Oh, you fell out. Hang on. Easy. Easy, fella. Here's the other part of the parking brake. We forgot to clean that off, so we'll get that now. Take this spring off and replace it with a new one. Let's get a pin in here, maybe make this a little easier to... Same way we took it out. Oh. There we go. Hopefully my brake will stay there, maybe. Yeah, it's in sort of where it's supposed to be. I'll pull you over here a bit. There we go. Slide you fellas in together. Yeah, okay. Our kit came with new pins. This is the main thing I was worried about. These are real rusty, and they're what hold this whole thing on there. So now let's put another pin in. There we go. There we go. A little click. Make sure that's in there. Make sure you're lined up. There we go. All right. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, I need you. All right, so we got to put our parking brake guide back in. We'll put that on where it goes. Wedge our spring in there. Before we fully get that in there, need to put our adjuster. Oh, come on. Yep. You want a hook for me? Go. Snake you around the back of there. And hook you back on. There we go. Again, there's a tool to do this, but you can just use a wrench and hook over this. Pick up the spring. Get your fingers out of the way. And with a little bit. Nope. There we go. One spring on. Did that tighten all this up? Not really. Hey, we'll put our other spring on there. Nope. Wrong wrench. Hook it over. This one's a little tougher to do because there's a spring on there, so it's I got a lot of room to. There we go. Give a little push. Do that with my finger. You know what? Maybe just buy the tool. It does make this quite a bit easier, honestly. There. Ding. There we go. Those are some solid brakes now. Nice. All right, now that we've got it all back together, I will clean this out a little better later. You want this to just snugly fit on here, which it kind of does. Yep. Here how there's a bit of dragging, but it still lets it like spin freely. That's about where you want it. So those brakes will press against it. If it is too loose, you can turn the adjuster. It'll make these spread out, make it a little tighter. Ours seems to be just about right though. Might give it a couple. This should eventually automatically adjust on its own too. But yeah, we're gonna need to clean this out and clean that off, and yep. I can hear the sweet song of rust. Yeah, there it is. Yep, I'm gonna get these cleaned off, be right back. All right, wipe down the pads, wipe down the drum. Yeah, we could probably tighten that up a little more. Let's go put the other brake together though before we do that. Well, I finally got the tire off of here. That was still left over from the last video. This guy has a lot more rust on it, so I feel like we're gonna have quite an adventure inside here. Oh, it didn't come off as bad. I mean, surprisingly a much cleaner brake in here. Wild. So I don't know why it was stuck. Woo! What's going on in there? What is that smell? Woo! Whoa, huh. I know that smell. That's the smell of diff fluid, which is not good. Yeah, that's definitely diff fluid. Well, maybe that's why this isn't so rusty, is because there's just diff fluid leaking in this. Should probably check that before we drive this too far. Anyways, let's pull this apart and get it cleaned. That is definitely the smell of diff fluid every time I knock something around. Great. That's a problem for much later when we're actually driving this. Yeah, there's a nice film of brake dust on there. Well, this one isn't quite as bad. Yeah, you know what? Maybe go down in the description and buy that brake tool if you're gonna do this. It does make it a whole lot easier. You just put it on and twist, and these are off instead of whatever this Mickey Mouse silliness I'm doing right now is. There, whoo, I saw some sparks. I'm gonna go plug this fan in. Yeah, this is it might not be diff fluid. Oh yeah, this old boy. This definitely needed new pins. There is a lot of rust at. Well, I mean, if you had to in an emergency, it'd get the brakes to work. Yeah, that's a diff fluid. Every time I get a deep waft of that. If you don't know what diff fluid smells like, differential fluid is what I'm saying. If you don't know what that smells like, it is one of the most pungent, just brimstone smells, and it is very recognizable. I'll get this fella off of here. I'll pull that out, maybe. Come on. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, come here. Yeah, there's a layer of things on growing some stuff in here. I'm gonna really clean this off. This is not as in bad a shape, but the brake itself is covered in this. I don't even know what this is going on here. This is just welded together, basically. Good. Did I bring that over? Yes, I did. Let me scoot back a bit. Maybe clean that up enough it'll come apart. Oh. One of these adjustments will get the right. Come on. Come on. The spring is just rusted to the attachment point is what's going on there. Maybe that's loose enough I can pull this now. Yeah. So close. See why this emergency brake wasn't working now. There's a multiple failure points here. There we go. I'm gonna clean that out a bit. I'm still not sure. Maybe this was, no way, that was painted white, and that's the, and given the amount of stuff growing on this before, and the fact that there's a layer of metal missing now. I put a ton of penetrating fluid in here. I'm hoping that's what all this wetness is, but maybe that's just what it is. Maybe it's not dip fluid. It smells a lot like it though. Let's get this cleaned off a bit. We got lucky. I've gone through 3 bottles of brake clean. There was one more on the shelf. We'll at least finish these guys off, and well, yeah, that's about. We'll let it soak. With what's left in there. Well, okay, that one's done. New one. Any more in you? Yeah, oh yeah. Nope, okay. Any more in you? Okay. Fresh bottle. Maybe be a little less whatever with it. Get all this penetrating fluid out of here. And maybe not get it all over that. Okay. Let's get our springs off this guy. Yeah, I might actually pull you all the way apart and clean everything here. Well, still on the edge of frame there. I see you. Well, if you want to come on out of there, fella, come on. There we go. Okay, let's put that somewhere safe. I do need that later. Get you out. Clean you off a little. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Pull our old spring out of there. Probably should have put gloves on to do this, but I will just wash my hands a lot. Yeah, this old fella is caked full, so we're gonna oh, butterfly, don't fly into the brake clean. That will not go well for you. Get a little bit of that, and she's like new. A little bit of that. Yeah, this brake is a bit dirtier than the other one was. There we go. We got ourselves some rebuilt brakes. All right, let's cut this fella off of here. Let's see how that goes. Woo, some smells burning. Okay, let's twist that and cut that off then. Hey, there's that thing. Can I just yank you out of there? Yep, look at that. There's one piece. I'm excited to get a flat tire from driving over this stuff. Rotate that way and cut that one off, and I think we're good. There we go. Oh, hello. All right, let's go check out how this is actually. Oh, we'll go back here in a second and check how this is actually hooked in here, and then we can hook the other one that way too. Is that just hooked to the? Interesting. Yeah, because that moves when those springs and shocks are doing absolutely nothing. Because I'm just barely putting body weight on this. Let's look back there. Hang on. We'll move in here. So the clip on the other one broke. There's a clip right here that attaches to the control arm, evidently. It's holding this in. The other one broke. This one's not in the greatest of shape either. That lets me know where I should probably zip tie this to, though, because that's about the best it's getting. Anyways, let's head under there and check this out. Oh boy, we're crammed under here. This is what I was pointing at earlier. It is also very broken back here. How do I not get in your, well, whatever. It is barely holding on. I'm just gonna probably bend this a few more times and it will break off. So that at least lets me know ish where to put. Oh, that might, hell, there's a whole thing. Okay. Oh, that's a bolt under that. Okay, well. Oh boy. I feel like this is just getting cut out of here. As you can see, it's raining. Yeah, I'm just pulling on this and it's breaking the metal. So, well, oh, we hit a solid spot. I feel like, yeah, this is a cut this out of here, not a try to make this bolt work. Maybe if I can somehow bend. Oh, that might just, yep, there we go. Yeah, that wasn't staying on there anyway. That means there's a hole over there somewhere, though. Yeah, I see it now. I might try to get this bolt out, use this as a zip tie spot to put it, I don't know. This is out of here now, though. This was rubbing against something and completely got to the metal inside. Let's make sure this new one doesn't rub wherever this one was rubbing. Good thing we're replacing most of everything. Same thing over here. We're just, well, let me, hang on. I said same thing. Let me clean that out now that there's a, oh, we're gonna need some new brushes, aren't we? Get in here with some of this too. Give that a little better chance of sticking on to things. Still haven't decided if this actually is doing anything with these new brakes. There's not really a place to hold it. We'll at least pretend we tried and put this dust cover back on. Yep. Like, I don't know, this thing, I don't know what this is doing. I don't know a lot of things. Maybe if I push that up, man, whatever. Anyways, let's push this in here. Yeah. Miss that. Go around that. There you go. There we go. She's in. Oh, that was against the muffler. That's why. Now that I lay that other cable in there, I figured out what this is. This was laying against the muffler and probably got hot and just melted through it. That's why the metal isn't messed up. Interesting. Well, let's make sure it doesn't lay on the muffler. This new one. I'll clean off some more parts without brake clean because we're running low. I mean, sort of getting you on camera. I'll just do this. It's the same thing we just did. Just doing it again. Oh, that is still... My slide did not want to slide on here very well. That's a little better. Let me throw this spring on here. Down in the dirt where you sort of... Yeah, that's the best you get. Okay. Think about what I'm doing here. Oh, we got some grass in our brakes now. You. Clicking that way. There we go. Hang that there. So you come up, hook it back. Yep, spread you apart. Put you in there. Okay. Yeah. You're actually kind of lined up right. Let's put the other one in. Now I need to put you in first. Wide end. Give this a little. There, now you're together. Pick you up. There we go. Hold you. Put a pin in. Yeah. Okay. Oh, because you're not. What in the world? There we go. Hook the adjuster on. Let's get the spring in first, actually. Go. And got a little wrench. Here somewhere. Where'd the big one go? There you are. Up and around. Oh, one more spring and I'm done. Well, for it's putting the brakes back together at least. There you go. Yeah? All right, well, I'm going to put these back together. We're in the home stretch, hopefully. And I'm kind of blocking the light. We're putting this stuff in the bracket here. Hopefully. Probably getting on my face. Let's see. Left is left. Yeah. Oh, you're a little. Oh, don't be too big for this, please. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Well, I'm sorry. This is hard to film. Yeah. That's real nice. Okay, and then my other one is. Yep, there's the piece that's broken and missing. We'll figure out. Yeah, I gotta reattach you at some point. I'm sure you're just getting arms and hands. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so what we got going on here is these go to the brakes. This goes to the handbrake up front, which I mean, eventually this might be getting replaced too. But that's a whole different thing for a later time. I'm gonna put our little piece in here wherever he went. Oh, I got our little adjuster. Pull this apart. There's two. There we go. And we'll get you on this fella. And then we take out all this slack and it makes these tight. Let me go grab a wrench. Who knows what size this is? Let's see, I'm sitting this way, which means that's tighter. They're gonna be here for a while. You're pretty snug and not pulled. Let's go upstairs and give you a pull. Maybe I'll explain this in a minute after I lose all my wrenches. Nope, not even remotely tight enough. Oh, you got to see that in action from down there, I guess. It's probably adjusting all the looseness that was in the brakes from... Surely this is it. Oh, getting my setups in for the day. Whew. Well, that's enough to test this out.
Time to see if it works. Let's put it in gear, pull the e-brake, and see if the wheel stops.
Yep, that's grabbing. Okay, e-brake's working. Whew. All right, we got the e-brake working. Now we need to bleed the actual brakes so they work. Let's see if we can loosen up some rusty bleeder valves. Real rusty back here. Gonna hit this with some fire and some penetrating fluid. Here we go, got an adapter and an adapter. And an adapter. Well, that's either turning or I'm rounding off everything. Dad Lewis seems like rounding off everything. Well, yep, that just broke off. Awesome. Well, yep. I'm done for the day. Oh, well, after that, I just walked away, went inside, got some air conditioning, got my thoughts straight. Gonna need to order new brake cylinders, probably run some brake line. We'll grab all that in the next video, though. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. It actually helps. And as always, go on an adventure, get out there and see the stars.